I have experienced anxiety disorder, panic disorders, and trichotillomania. When I was in high school, I had a lot of problems with anxiety, and I've always dealt with anxiety, but it started to become a little too much, and I started to have panic attacks while I was in school. It started in middle school and all the way up through high school, and I never really talked to anyone about it. I never told my parents, the school never reported it, I never went to a counselor. I just panicked, had episodes, fought it out in the bathroom, and then went back to class. And it was a really big struggle, and it wasn't until my junior year of high school that my mom finally became aware of it and got me a counselor. And it was a big help, because I was having a lot of problems. I didn't want to go on medication, so therapy was my only option. And the person I talked to through behavioral services organization, she was wonderful. She gave me what I needed from someone, which was somewhere to talk about all the anxiety I'd been feeling, how I couldn't, get over it by myself. That was a problem. I thought I could get through it by myself, by sheer willpower of wanting to get through it by myself, but I really needed the help, and that was what helped me the most, was going somewhere, having someone to talk to. And once I was more comfortable talking about it, my mom became a really big support system for me, and my sister. I'm closest with them, and without them supporting me and calling me and checking up on me all the time, I wouldn't have been able to get through it. And I got through it without having to do any medication, but once I hit college and anxiety returned, stress levels were up, it didn't come back. I panicked. I started having a couple panic attacks, but I was doing okay because I learned how to deal with them more. But I started to develop trichotillomania, which is obsessive hair pulling, which you can't tell because I didn't pull my hair from my head or my eyebrows or anything like that, but like my legs and other areas, and it was bad, like patches, bleeding, scarring, everything like that, and it was completely out of control. And once again, I didn't know what to do. I wanted to talk to someone so badly, but I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't want to tell my roommates. I didn't want to tell my mom again because I felt like I had failed her, because I had sort of relapsed into having problems with my anxiety, because it was all my anxiety. And eventually, I just couldn't take it anymore by myself. When I went home for Christmas break, I was out of sorts. My mom knew I was out of sorts. My work noticed that I was. I work for somewhere where I have to be really perky and upbeat, and I just wasn't, and they noticed it, and they kept asking me what was wrong. They kept asking me if I was okay, and I kept telling them, I'm fine, but they knew, and I knew that I wasn't. So when I went home, I told my mom. She took me to the doctors. The doctor prescribed me medicine. She told me to get counseling, and so I took the advice. The medicine helped. My anxiety went down. Not all of it did. The trichotillomania was still going strong. I told them that I had stopped because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know anything about it. And it wasn't until recently that I actually started going to counseling on campus, because I was at my wit's end, and even with the medicine, it wasn't enough. So I started therapy with on-campus services. I started medicine. I think if I would have had somewhere where I could have called anonymously just to get encouragement and to get a way to find services, that I wouldn't have had to go through my parents, to go through my friends, where they could have just built up my courage so that I could have found what I was looking for, I think I wouldn't have had to struggle alone for so long.